Hi guys, welcome to RCC Adventures. Today we're going to talk about Harlequin. Do a little bit of a walk around today, and weather's atrocious. We'll get on with it because you need to see what you need to see. Right, let's get a start at the front and show you what I've done. So here you would have seen in the previous video of me doing the grille and all this. But I've also fitted a cold air feed which goes in. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a pipe under there, which does make me a little bit wary when it comes to puddles and stuff like that, so be careful of that. Obviously Harlequin being a V5, the weather has just got worse as I'm now filming, but there's Harlequin, mk4 Golf V5, and we'll pop the bonnet because I've done a few things on that. Because you guys, you've seen me do an oil and filter change, you've seen me do parts of the exhaust, you saw me do rear brakes, paint those up, and the tyres, but that's about it. You've seen it. Sorry if you can't hear me very well, but the wind and the rain is quite bad. Let's get the bonnet open. So as you can see in there, I have been a bit busy. I've painted this, painted that, just to make it a little bit better. I've also fitted that cold air feed there, as you can see, going straight into the throttle body with the standard mass airflow sensor, so the MAF sensor. But under there, that's pretty much all I've done. That's where it is. Shut the bear with. So other than that, and the exhaust and painting up the brakes, the wheels that are on it are the wheels that came with it. I did have a set of Santa monitors, as you know, they were broken and just didn't work, so I didn't fit. But she's still at standard height, still with standard brakes. It's just still massive exhaust that I fitted. What I will be changing to at some point. Few stickers that I've put on. So I've got the Harlequin sticker there, a couple of stickers up there, no one there, that was hiding a scratch. But it's there, painted up the Volkswagen badge, which I think looks quite smart because it's in the German flag, the Harlequin name. And also, my own personal Random Car Club sticker, which obviously, as you see there, is backwards, but it is facing the correct way. With those Random Car Club stickers, I've only made two, one for this and one for Mickey. I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more. It's sort of like it was only a personal thing for me, really. But the ones that I have made for people to see, to buy and all this, is this one here. This is Random Car Club, because obviously RCC Adventures, the RCC bit stands for Random Car Club. So I started that on Facebook, oh God, 7 months ago now. Then started the YouTube channel, that was about 3 months. So Random Car Club is my baby from on Facebook, and if you want to find me, you'll have to go into the groups and you'll find it on there as Random Car Club. Ask to join, you have to answer the questions to be able to get in. If you don't answer any questions, you'll immediately be declined. But I'm on there. I'm on Instagram with Random Car Club, as well as my own personal account, which is Mickey the Micro. On there, I'm also on Twitter with Random Car Club. Right, so we'll check out the boot, which for obviously mk4 Golfs, they're reasonable sized cars. They're not small hatchbacks, but they are a hatchback. But it does have a decent-ish sized boot, as you can see, with a nice random feather. You've got a 12-volt socket back here, which opens that way. Yeah, so there's a cap, goes in there. Never checked if it works, but it does have one. And obviously you've got the first aid and your emergency triangle in there with these little toggles. I'm trying to film it as best I can, but the weather is horrendous, which would be in there, but I haven't got it. You know, it's not a new car, so things will be missing. There's a little compartment bit here as well, so you can get to your rear light. Obviously with the other side having that extra panel That's got it. Having an extra panel bit here, the whole thing's open so you can still get to the light, so you don't need the same thing. That's actually which with Mark 4 Golfs, well, especially this Mark 4 Golf, I've noticed, is that you can sort of have to slam the boot to get it shut. Right, so what we'll do is we'll sit in the back so you get a perspective of how it is. And this is the first time I'm sitting in the back. I'm sat in the passenger side. Look at my hair. The weather is rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Oh, bigs up for my sister Emma. She did my hair at a salon. Unfortunately, you can't see it today because the weather is terrible, but my hair is a lot better than it was. As you can see, loads of headroom for me. I'm not a small guy. I'm not a very tall guy either, but I'm not a small guy. As you can see, I'm quite big. But knee room, and this is basically the passenger seat is almost parallel with the driver's seat, so it's almost basically my position at the front. And I've got loads of leg room at the back here, plenty of foot room down there. Let's shut the door. Golf clunk, which is quite good. Let's take those off because they are covered in water. I can't see. So yeah, you've got 3 headrests at the back here, which is pretty good. Nice parcel shelf back there. Good view from behind here to see forward, because I quite like to be able to see forward when I'm sat in the back as well. Nice little cabin light there. Same on that side. A Mark 4 sagging roof, which is normal. Some map pockets. There's no like door pockets, but you do have rear speakers and you do have electric windows at the back here. And grab handles both sides with soft close, which is pretty good. This has got the cream interior, which I love the cream interior. I think it's a lovely interior. The only trouble is it will get dirty very quickly. So what I'll do in a minute is I'm going to set up my other camera, which happens to be an old iPhone, above the exhaust, and then we'll drive around in this little car park to get a sense of how noisy it is outside when driving along, because when you're sat inside you get massive vibrations and lovely noises from inside. With the window down, the same thing. You don't really get to understand what the exhaust really sounds like from up close, so I'll do that. And then I'll stop, obviously take the camera off. I don't want to lose the camera because that'd be annoying to say the least. And then we'll go for a bit of a drive and I'll get you set up properly inside the car and we'll do that. Sat in the driver's seat. Take those off because they are very wet. I'm very wet. The weather's horrible. Filming location's good when on a good day, really, when it's nice and dry. Weather's not brilliant, as I've said. It's mainly a lot of rain. There is quite a lot of wind. But when am I supposed to get filming it, really, at the moment? Because it's rained for the rest of the week. It's been raining for most of last week and it's a pain in the bum. So anyway, I'm now sat, as I said, in the driver's seat. So over here, sorry, the camera is a bit, yeah. Well, so you got here the lights, plus for the dashboard light as well, so you can dim it and brighten it. Also your headlight adjustment. On this toggle here, This is for your trip and for your wipers, front and rear. And then on this side, you've got your indicator, steering wheel, obviously. Pedals down there. I have found that with the way I drive, I prefer to have my throttle pedal about there. Obviously, don't mess with tunnel, sort of the wheel arch there. So they've moved it over a bit, so it can after a while feel a little bit cramped, but it's okay. In trainers I'm fine. If I'm wearing my work boots, it's a bit of a problem. The other pedals, the actual rubbers themselves, can probably do with changing, especially the clutch pedal, because you can see there it's kind of sort of bulged out a bit for some reason, don't know why. But this car is, well, it's a Y Ridge, so it's 2001. So you can't expect it to be in immaculate condition. It was, previous owner owned it for 14 years and she loved it. Drove it like a loon, like it's supposed to be, because it's having a V5 in it. You're not supposed to drive them slowly. So, you know, can't complain too much. Decent sized dashboard. It's quite good. Loads of sort of arm space up there, which is pretty good. And you've got the ASR here, which is basically your traction control system, which, yeah, you kind of need that on really in this car, especially in the weather, the way it's been at the moment. Your hazards and your rear demist. And then on here, obviously your radio, standard radio, but it's also got a 6 CD auto changer in the boot, which you would have seen when I opened those cubby holes up. That works really well with 4 speakers. And then you've got your climate control down here, which also does have air conditioning. But the air conditioning, it needs regassing, so I haven't done that yet. But it does work really well with the demist. The demist works really quickly. In fact, if I start the car up, we'll sit here for a minute, put on the demist, turn it up a bit. You can see it's working already. It's almost halfway up the screen already, which is pretty good. I've had, well, for instance, the one on Mickey, it doesn't have a specific button just for the windscreen. You have to turn the dial. So that's all analog, but this is digital. So this one was completely doing the screen. So yeah, that's analog, and that works pretty well, but it doesn't work anywhere near as quick as this. This is really quick. So what I'm going to do now is I've pretty much shown you everything inside, apart from the glove box. I haven't shown you the glove box, which unfortunately, being a Mark 4 Golf, the catch, which is a common problem, same with the roof line in here, is a common problem, same with the catch on the centre armrest. It's quite a hairband on there to keep it closed when it's up, which you actually find with the armrest. When it's down, it's actually quite difficult to change gear and to do the handbrake, so I'll leave that up. But with a hairband on it, that's fine. So with the glove box, take the piece of paper out and it falls out. But decent size in there. For some reason it's got two cup holders there, but as you can see, neither of them for the passenger wouldn't be great. So for them to work correctly, the seat would have to be quite far back, which means you don't have much space in the back for anybody. But Golf, well, VW thought of that. It was like, oh, we'll have them on there, but you don't necessarily have to use those, because you've got, if I can get it open, it's always when you're filming, a couple of cup holders there, which are spring loaded, and neatly just fold back in there, close that down. That's pretty smart. To get this to shut properly, you just put a little piece of paper, as you can see it's been like that for years, in the shut there, and that keeps it shut. And whilst you're driving along, hooning down gravel roads and all this, it actually works. It stays shut. So you've got airbag on here, airbag there, airbags in the sides of the seats. None of the B-pillars or A-pillar or anything like that, but it does have a good few airbags in here, which is pretty good. I'm well happy with it, really happy. It's got electric door mirrors. It's supposed to have heated door mirrors as well, but obviously the weather hasn't been cold enough to even warrant using it, so I have no idea if they work or how to actually work it. Because on the toggle, it's got a symbol here for heat, but do you pull that like that and hold it there, or what? Obviously that is supposed to fold them in, but that doesn't work, so something to look at and later day. I'll get you set up for going for a bit of a drive. Right, we've got you all set up inside. Go for a little drive about. Super Aguri jumper, paint on trousers. So it's done in these days, in these countries. That's just what I added to hand. Just clean those up without breaking the frame would be helpful. I don't see properly. So what we'll do is just go for a little drive around. Obviously the weather today is terrible. That won't do. I will not be able to see. So the guys that don't know, Harlequin, the mk4 Golf with the V5 or VR5, of having a small radius, sort of like that, so it's only got one head, rather than a standard V5, which would be like that. Say this side's the front of the engine, that'd have 2 cylinders, that would have 3 cylinders, like that. Instead, it's sort of like that. See what I mean? So this is a VR5. It's about a 15-degree angle between the front and the back cylinders, but they share the same head, and it still makes good V5 noise. But it is different to another V5, say a Volvo or a Focus ST. There is a slight distinctive difference in noise. That's better, I can see again. Start her up. Now, all windows shut, you can hear. She be loud, man. Now, today I was supposed to be doing a review on another vehicle, which will happen another day. But the weather was just not great. It's not great to do a review. So with this is basically what I've done in the past with Mickey. What I like to do, a walk around, sort of showing you what cars are about and what I've done, and going for a drive. This is similar to that, where a review will be a lot more in depth, which obviously I'll be able to do at some point, maybe this year, if the weather stops raining, which it hasn't, and you'll be able to see that. But obviously with this, it's just a walk around. It's not a review as such, but kind of is. It's sort of like a pre-review, you know what I mean? I didn't describe that with Mickey. And Mickey's changed. Mickey has changed since then, since I've done the walk around. And I'll be doing another video on Mickey about all those things. Obviously you saw me do the shocks, you saw me take out the seats and all that sort of thing. He's now got the silver wheels back on him. He's now got a spoiler. Yeah, he's got a Nissan Micra GX rear spoiler on the tailgate. In white, like with the bonnet. I'm going to do the same with the roof. So it's going to have a white bonnet, white roof, white spoiler. That's where I'll stop with the white. Maybe I might not stop with the white. I might put the door mirrors in white, but the surrounds that go to the door and keep those black. See how we go. Harlequin, on the other hand, I'm not sure if I'm going to lower her, because she drives really, really nice. Not lowered. Then again, look really good lowered. But I am going to get the anniversary kit, which makes it the sort of side skirts, bottom, front and rear trim, just to makes the car seem like it's lower to the ground, just to make it look a little bit more sporty. It's now put on rear twist. It's just, I've never ever turned the ASR off, which turns out to be like a triangle with an arrow going that way as in a circle. So we'll see what happens. It'll probably spin up like a mad thing. It spun up like a mad thing with it on it. Go this way. Just see what happens. Yep, just spun up. Turn the light on. There we go, it's on again. Well, that's interesting. Half of the rear dim mist is working and the other half is slowly not. Obviously I've got to be careful with the cold air feed, it's so low down to the ground. If I go for a puddle I might drown the car. So I've got to be wary about that. Go for a bit of a drive on this beautiful British day, beautiful sunshine. Forget the water droplets, there's none of that, no water droplets at all anywhere. Hello Mr. Plod, I won't be naughty, you're Mr. Plodaboot. Let's just drive around and carry on talking. Obviously, I was being, being loud. I am going to change the exhaust because it makes a lovely noise with the exhaust, but it's too bellowy. It's not a performance exhaust for the car. It's a universal black box that I bought and made to fit. So it's not for the car itself, so at some point I will be buying a mk4 exhaust for it with a smaller tailpipe, because the one that's on there is it's massive. I think it's about 5 inches and it looks good, it does look good, but at the same time it doesn't, you know what I mean? But it's just very, very bellowy, and it does make it a little bit more difficult to hear the V5 itself. It's like, oh, where it should be more crisp sounding. It's not. And the whole point of fitting the cold air feed and the exhaust was to get the V5 rawness, the sound of it. And I just don't feel it's got that as such at the moment. Once it's got another exhaust on it, it will. I'll be doing that probably next year now. Obviously COVID is still a massive thing. In fact, it's getting worse and worse day in, day out. So that's not helping situations, because everything is being shut again and limited on places you can go. Having to wear face masks just when you go into stores or any place of business. On public transport, you still have to wear a face mask. It's face mask everywhere, apart from, as far as I'm concerned, if you're in your own vehicle driving around, you don't have to wear a face mask. You do see every now and again, you see people wearing face masks. That's usually because they've got a passenger, and the passenger they might not necessarily live in the same household. If you're living in the same household and you're in the same car, you don't necessarily have to wear a face mask because you're in your own little bubble. And I am waffling a little bit about it, but it has been a massive thing since March. It hasn't gone away, and it's continuously not going away in any shape or form. There was a period of time where it died off a little bit, but then it's come back again. So it's the second wave. And it's a massive thing. And me working for Asda, which is, I'm a key worker, working at Asda, I'm a delivery driver, I have to wear a face mask all the time. At store, when I'm in the van, driving around in the vans, I have to wear a face mask. At the customers' doors, obviously, I have to wear a face mask. I'm having to sanitise all the time. And in fact, you would have seen me sanitise if I can find the sanitiser. I've got sanitiser here somewhere. I'll sanitise my hands all the time. Everybody has to sanitise, and it happens. It's not just in the UK, it's global. And it's big. It's a massive thing. And to go back to my original point, with COVID, everything, apart from key areas, everything is shut. Or shutting, or closing early, or trying to book somewhere, say like for an MOT, is becoming a challenge. Take that off because I don't need it. It's just a big problem. So when it comes to modifying a car, you have to order stuff online. You have to wait for it to turn up. And in my situation, I haven't got a garage or anything like that. I have to do it outside. I have to do it outside the car park at the back of my dad's house, and there's no shelter. So when it's raining, the only videos I can make myself are driving ones. I can't do any videos on working on cars. I can't necessarily do any reviews on people's cars because of COVID, unless I wear a mask and they're happy with that. This at the moment it sort of just is a big no-no really, driving other people's cars. Unless they're in your bubble. It's the only time it might be a bit different. Interesting style of choice there, mate, about driving your car, having your hands like that on top of the steering wheel whilst going through a very narrow area of the car going towards you. Whatever. He didn't hit me, I didn't hit him, we're all good. So yeah, because the car review I was going to do this weekend, as long as the weather was good, was going to be, and you have heard of it, you've not seen it on the channel. You've heard of it, or you might have seen it, a slight glimpse of it. And if you're with me on Facebook at Random Car Club, you would see it in there because people know it on there. There's the Chrysler 300C. There's my dad's car, and I was going to do a review on there, but that will be going, and along with other reviews. Yeah, but to be fair guys, there's not much else to say. I've ranted a little bit about COVID. We're not really necessarily ranted, but I've spoken about COVID, which is a massive thing at the moment. It's majorly important, and for all people, for all of us, and it's illustrated on radio, on TV, is that you need to be washing your hands, you need to be wearing a face covering, and you need to be keeping your distance. It's a big thing at the moment. And with that, I'm going to leave it with my last little bit I'm going to say, which is, if you like what you see, please subscribe. And once you've subscribed, hit the bell icons, get all the notifications. Please hit the like button, or the not like button. It's up to you, as long as you're participating. And if you could, leave a comment. You know, I'm new to this. I'm new to YouTube. I'm only the 3rd month in of doing YouTube. And there's people that I watch, they've been doing it for years. Like Mighty Car Mods have been doing it for 12 years, maybe 13, 14 years. Hub Nut, he's been doing it for 10. And people have got lots of experience, where with me, I'm still new to it. My learning from it is making the videos, watching other people's videos. And I highly recommend everybody we get into it really, because it's good fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be about cars. It doesn't necessarily have to be, well, anything that I do is what I'm into. There's people out there that are going to be into other things like knitting and washing clothes and all that sort of thing, or doing your own food program. All I'm saying is, and I know I'm not going to get to everybody, what I'm saying is get out there and start doing some videos, have some fun, and you will eventually at some point, as long as you've got the subscribers, you will get paid for it. And that's what I'm looking for, is that I'm hoping to get the subscribers, which is free by the way. And I've said it in previous videos, it's free to subscribe. You don't have to pay for anything, because I'm looking to eventually get money. But it's a passion. Excuse me. It's a passion for me. I love making videos. rambling on again. It's like this bit's almost 15 minutes long. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop it there. And I'll say again, please subscribe, please press the like button, hit the bell icon for notifications, and hit me up any comments, guys. Cheers, catch you later.